What's up, guys? So here, quick economy update for you. What's hot, what's not, what's good to make, what's good to grow, and so on. So this used to be a farmer's market. What I mean is, a week ago, every crop you could plant was growing, selling for like 5 to 15 silver per labor point spent. It was a really strong farmer's market, and then there's just more people started farming, and there's too much supply out there. So there's only a few crops now that are actually worthwhile for growing, and one of them is cotton. Cotton is always one of the biggest selling items out there for the labor that you spend on it. It is very time consuming to gather, but single seed planting cotton or potentially even using the bundle for cotton is great, because when you do harvest cotton, you get like 8 to 10 cotton in one harvest. So you can see they're selling for 2 silver each approximately. So that means in one harvest you're looking at around 18 to 20 silver, potentially with the chance to get that rare proc, which the rare proc is 3 times the normal yield. So that's 3 times 9, 27. That's a decent chunk just for the base cotton. So cotton is always one of the best materials, and it holds its value pretty well because you need it for crafting armor and you need it to make fabric. So a quick way to look at something that is like just a base guide on prices is have all the crops in your inventory like this, and then just run through the list. So you can look at, you want to look for things that are over 5 silver per. So cultivated ginseng is still high, fairly high, but the downside is it takes a very long time, and it actually, the seed cost is very expensive on these things. So the profit margin isn't that great, and they're not that quick of movers, but it is still a pretty good thing to actually plant and grow on your farms there. Ginkgo leaves are one of the other things that are still very high. You can see 27 silver is the cheapest price right now. The downside is these are big trees. They take up a lot of space on your farming land, and you only get like 2 to 4 on a harvest, so it's a very small yield. Trees take a long time. It's a lot of labor also to gather these. You may be thinking honey is actually good, but even though honey has a huge price, the upkeep of keeping a beehive up and then actually the startup cost of making a beehive makes this a really piss poor choice. Honey is a horrible thing to harvest for your labor spent. You get little honey, and it sells for very small amounts, and the labor costs are astronomical on honey. So honey is only good for potentially like EU alts, or if you are EU American alts and putting up a farm with honey and just kind of setting it, forgetting it, because it will eat your labor up, but it doesn't give you, it barely gives you even like 1 silver per labor point spent on harvesting. So this is a horrible price. Honey should be a lot more expensive, but people don't value labor on this thing. Something else, you can't grow this, but 18 silver is very cheap in my opinion for the clubhead fungus. Aloe, you can grow it. It's not worthwhile to really grow. It doesn't sell very fast. 9 silver. It costs a little bit for the seed. It's just not really worthwhile. Vanilla, you can't grow yourself. No seeds. It's a wild harvest. Vanilla potentially could be more valuable than that. It's needed for high-end materials. Saffron, I'm not sure what it's used for. It's at 12 silver. So I don't really deal with saffron, so I don't know. Rosemary's at 6, so rosemary might be something decent to grow. Again, anything over 5 silver that is a low seed cost could be potentially decent. I'm not sure how good rosemary actually sells at 6. Poppy, again, I believe is a wild thing that you can't. If it isn't, 16 silver is a very high amount. So yeah, poppy could be something to grow right there. And again, prices are changing. Poppy is used for high-end materials, and I do think you need like 50 of them pop. So the price does fluctuate. Pepper is a rare material out in the wild that you can't grow yourself, and it's very cheap at 4 silver. Mint is used for high-end alchemy potions, like the Kingdom Heart and things like that. So it stays at 5 silver approximately, and it sells fairly quickly at 5 silver because you do need quite a bit. I believe it's also used for alchemy potions as well, one of the pigments. So mint might be it's a basic, you're always going to sell it. It's not as good as copper or cotton, but it's got some value and it's going to stay around at that price. The other material that is very similar to that is lily. Lily is always going to stay roughly around 4 or 5 silver because it's used for high-end potions and alchemy materials. So these things, lily and mint, are a safe bet if you're on a different economy and cotton isn't selling very well, or you want something that's going to grow longer, different times, different locations. Iris, again, see, worthless. 1 silver, 2 silver, you don't want to grow that. You don't want to grow lavender. Lavender's only 2 silver, horrible. Pomegranate, I'm not sure on this. I mean, I don't know if it sells. It's 35 silver. I don't know much about it. You need it from trees. I can't really tell you anything about it. Jujube, a good seller because it's used for the East trade pack. You need 10 of them for a trade pack to make that large scarecrow. Not many people are doing it anymore, so you can go ahead and throw up some Juju up there for 39 silver a pop right now. The supply is kind of dried up, so you can see it's all in smallish quantities. Let's go ahead and throw some. Let's go, since that's a high price, we're going to throw some Juju up there. And so you do want to sell it in small stacks. You don't want to ever sell anything in like 400, 500 stacks, especially these materials that you only need like 10 of. So we're going to undercut it just a little bit. We're going to go to 35 and then put a bid up for 3, put up for 24 hours. We'll do 3 of those, test out the market to see how fast those sell, if they do sell, and so forth. Coconut is a rare material that's found on the wild, and 40 silver is a decent price on that. Chestnut is another rare material found on the wild, very cheap at 7 silver. Again, it's only used for Delphinad stuff, so not many people need it. Yam is used for a trade pack that a lot of people do. It's the Halcyona, I believe, and 4.5 is a pretty standard price that I've seen for this. It hovers right around there. Decent thing to grow, if cotton isn't your thing. Strawberry's horrible at 3 silver. Pumpkin should be really good for the next couple weeks because of the Halloween event. They haven't officially announced the actual quest that's going to go on, but pumpkins were used in an event last time to earn some free candy and such. So I think it was like 10 pumpkins you had to gather and give to an NPC. Something similar like that is going to happen. We not for sure if it's going to require pumpkins or something else, but yeah. So pumpkins at 5 silver. It's also used for combined feed, so it's got some uses overall. It's going to stay right around the 5 silver, maybe jump up, especially if the NPC require pumpkin for the Halloween events. We got garlic. Garlic is used for the daily Gildastar at your improved scarecrow or your farmer's workstation. It's always going to stay right around this price because everyone got those farmer's workstation doing the daily Gildastar. You do need a big chunk. I think you need like 30 or 50 of them. So it goes through really quick. So 5 or 6 silver should be a safe bet to grow those. Chili peppers are decent to grow. You can see at 10 silver, it's one of the higher things. They take a long time to grow from my memory. I'm not sure how quickly they sell either at that price. Blueberries are wild harvested. You cannot actually grow them, so it's actually insanely cheap right there. Probably will buy some of those. Wheat is fairly cheap as well. The seeds are not that expensive, but it takes a while. From my memory, there's a lot on the Morpheus server. To me, 6 silver is really cheap. I would buy wheat up to like 10 silver because it's used for some high-end potions, the Vicious Glossy Oil, and that sells really well on most servers. Then you got rice. Rice is really cheap, 3 silver. You got rye, too cheap for what it takes to grow. The other thing that you potentially want to grow is bean. You can see bean, there's nothing on the auction house. So bean, cotton are 2 of the big things that you potentially want to grow. Bean takes a long time to grow, and it's sold out because people don't know about it, and it takes a day and like 2 hours or something like that, a long time. And when you do need it, you need like 50 beans at once. So beans, they've been selling anywhere between 10 to like 25 silver. So beans are probably one of the best things to grow currently on Morpheus. Again, it will vary server to server. Corn, not value. You can just see most of these, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, everything was over 5 silver, and now most of it has dropped down significantly. The only things, again, I would recommend let's go through it, is cotton, bean, lily, and then mints. Those are the 4 things that I would strongly recommend looking at. Then there's also something else that potentially, I'm not sure how many you get out of it, but bamboo. I'm in the market for bamboo myself. I've been buying everything between 10 and 15 silver in bamboo. So, I mean, I don't know what the yields are on this. I'm growing some right now to figure it out, to see if it's worthwhile to use my farm space on it. But bamboo, yeah, if you want to sell bamboo for 9 silver, let me know. I'll buy all your bamboo right there. Potentially I even buy it for 10 or 11 or 12. But yeah, bamboo may be worthwhile at 10 silver. I just don't know. It's a smallish tree. You can get like 16 or 20 of them on a small or large scarecrow. So yeah, those are some things that are good to sell right now, farming wise. Everything else you should probably stay away from. It's not really worthwhile. You also got ginkgo trees. The ginkgo trees are potentially also a good thing. And then logs, you definitely want to stay away from logs. Log prices are going to be tanking on Morpheus and Rigora because of the reintroduction of the majestic tree to the cash shop. That comes out October 16th. So there you go. That's an update on all the crops here, the current prices on Morpheus. And we can check out our sold tab. And thanks for watching, guys.